Hello, good afternoon. Well, almost afternoon. Good morning, beautiful people. So happy to come your way this fabulous Friday morning. So we have a few things to discuss. I hope my camera isn't too lopsided. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a great topic. It's known as VAWA. We're going to talk about how to qualify for this abuse green card. So VAWA is an interesting way of getting a green card, and it's simply Violence Against Women Act. And today we're going to be talking about the applicable law, how to qualify for a green card if you are being abused by your U.S. citizen spouse. Guys, drop me a comment. I'm recording live from the beautiful city of Manassas, Virginia. Let me know where you are watching me from. And let's get it started. Okay, so first of all, to be eligible for a green card through abuse, so let me first briefly touch on some of the benefits of this type of application. So if you file a VAWA or the abuse green card and you are successful, you will get a 10-year green card. That's a 10-year resident permit from this process. And after 3 years of getting the green card, you are eligible to apply for citizenship. Okay, and this type of green card, it's known as a self-petition. You don't need to let your spouse know that you are applying by yourself. You file it by yourself, of course, with the help of your attorney. Okay, and I'll be reading comments soon. So guys, drop me the comments, drop it. Okay, so those are some of the benefits. You are able to get a travel permit to leave the country, and then come back, and then you can get a work permit as well. You can get a work permit through this type of abuse green card, and of course social security. And as I said, you get a 10-year green card. I mean, it's a fabulous relief meant for people who are being abused. Okay, so let's read a couple of comments and then we'll jump right into the juice and the tea. Ransford Entry says, I'm in Boston. Hello, Ransford. So happy to have you here. Welcome. Obang Balo says, hi, Akua. Hello. How are you guys doing? Okay, so yeah, let's continue to talk about, we're talking about the abuse green card today. So let's look at what, how you can qualify for this type of green card. First of all, you must be the spouse, meaning you are married to the person who's abusing you, and this person who's abusing you must be a green card holder or he must be a U.S. citizen. Okay, that's the first qualification. And then secondly, there must be, you must be eligible for immigrant classification under certain section. I don't want to go into the specific section of the Immigration and Nationality Act based on that relationship. So normally there has to be a visa available. So if you are married to an abuser who is a green card holder, the visa bulletin must have the priority date. Your priority date must be current in order for you to be able to, of course, if you are trying to do the concurrent filing, which is the I-360 plus the I-485 combo. But at the same time, the immigrant, so let me read this more specifically because I'm just trying to explain and mincing words. So pursuant to 8 CFR section 2042C, you may file a self-petition under certain sections of the INA for classification as an immediate relative or as a preference immigrant. Okay, so as I stated, the first thing is you have to be an immediate relative, meaning that you're a spouse of a U.S. citizen, or a preference immigrant if you are the spouse, for example, of a green card holder. If number one, you are the spouse of a citizen or a lawful permanent, the spouse of a citizen, or you are the spouse of a lawful permanent resident of the U.S. And then B, you are eligible for immigrant classification or under the INA based on that relationship. Okay, so under this second condition, there shouldn't be you should be eligible for immigrant classification. There usually would be, for example, no numerical limit to the type of visa that you will have. Okay. And then number 3, you should be living here in the US. You shouldn't be outside the US. You should be right here in the US. And then number 4, you should have lived here in the US with your US citizen spouse or your green card holder spouse. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit rusty from the beginning, but basically you should be a spouse, the wife or the husband of the abuser, and the abuser should be a green card holder, a US citizen, and you should be eligible for immigrant classification based on that relationship. And then you should be living here in the US, and then you should have been battered or been the subject of extreme cruelty that was perpetrated by your US citizen spouse or green card holder spouse during the marriage. So they should have subjected you to, some types of abuse. Could be psychological, emotional, verbal, financial, sexual, all the types of abuse. It can be just one type. It can be just physically abusing you. That's fine. You can still qualify under this process. And then the abuse could also be just emotional. He could just be making fun of your accent. And he's a US citizen, he's a green card holder, he's making fun of your accent because you're an immigrant, and he's doing it, and it's really cruel, subjecting you to extreme cruelty. That's the standard. It has to be extreme. Of course, if he's just teasing you for fun and you guys are just playing romantic games, that will not rise to the standard they're looking for. It has to be extreme, and it has to be cruel to you, and you have to suffer some emotional hardship or challenges because of what he's doing to you. And then the next thing is that you should be somebody who has good moral character. So it means that you should have a clear criminal history, or your background check should come back clean. Even if you have some issues in the past with the law, you should be able to demonstrate to them that maybe it wasn't your fault, or you have rehabilitated, so you've changed. And what are some of the things you can show? What are some of the things you can present to immigration to show that now you are no longer the person that you used to be? So you should demonstrate good moral character, be a person of good moral character in order to qualify under VAWA. Okay. And then the last thing is that you should have entered into the marriage in good faith. So if you're married to a US citizen or green card holder, if you entered into the marriage for green card or for papers, then even if the person is abusing you, you do not have remedy under VAWA. Okay, you do not have remedy under this type of green card because you did not enter into the marriage in good faith. Okay, so the point is that you should have entered into the marriage in good faith. And what does it mean? That means that when you entered into the marriage, you had the purpose of establishing life together with your family, with the man or the woman. So you had the aim to live life together, spend time together, and grow old together. Guys, drop me your comments, your questions. If you have questions, please drop them and I'll do my best to answer it. Okay, so that's pretty much the law. So let's take a look at a few things. Today we're just here for a short time and then we'll be off. Let's look at some of the documents that you may be required to put together. So you need to demonstrate marriage in good faith. So there has to be a qualifying relationship, as I already stated. And this qualifying relationship has to be, either to a legal marriage to a US citizen or to a green card holder. Okay. And so you have to demonstrate this by showing that you have divorce decrees of your prior marriages, and you have a marriage certificate between the petitioner, the self-petitioner, and the person who's abusing the petitioner. Okay, so guys, remember, this is a self-petition. Your abusive spouse does not need to know. He doesn't need to help you. He doesn't need to provide anything for you. We can help you file this all by yourself. It's known as a self-petition. So we do this, and USCIS is mandated by law not to inform your abuser, because that could put you in danger. Somebody who's being abused needs to be protected from the abuser. So that's the point of this green card, is to protect people who are being abused, victims of abuse. And so if you're married to a green card holder, a US citizen, you are entitled, if that person is subjecting you to extreme cruelty and battery. Okay. And then the next thing is good faith marriage. There's some documents you can show, pictures, affidavits from family and friends that know the two of you and know that, yes, you guys truly love each other and have a genuine marriage. Okay. You can also have things like joint bank accounts as usual, bona fides come in, joint lease agreements, insurance, joint insurance documents, letters and cards of communication between the two of you, birthday cards, Valentine's Day cards, or whatever. You can have those documents as well. And then you can have, you need to prove also that you guys lived together. That's a requirement. So joint utility bills, things like that. And then there has also to be evidence of the abuse, okay, or extreme cruelty. If you state that the person has abused you or has been extremely cruel, you need to be able to back it up with proof. So reports from the police or things like protective orders are also very good for demonstrating this. And then lastly, as we stated, good moral character. So you would sometimes need a police clearance. Some people sometimes do FBI, take records from the FBI to show that they are clean. That may not always be necessary. So of course, it depends on your situation, your history, and everything else. And any information about you, what can you use to establish good moral character? Did you partake in any type of voluntary, do you help your community? Is that something you've done for maybe the past 2 years? You teach Sunday school, things like that are good to help establish your good moral character. Okay, guys, remember that normally, drop me your immigration law questions, drop them. Normally, remember that you can only adjust status if you have been admitted and inspected. Okay, what that means is that if you come in through the airport or you come in through a port of entry, let's say at the border, and you present yourself to immigration and they inspect and admit you, meaning that they say, okay, what's your name? What's your purpose? Why are you coming here? How long are you here for? And all that. If you have an immigration officer inspect you and then admit you into the US, normally you can adjust your status through marriage. Okay. Easily without any problems. However, if you came in, let's say, through the border without being inspected or admitted, then you are not able to go through the straightforward route of just adjusting your status. Okay. However, when it comes to VAWA, you can adjust your status without having to leave the US. Normally, if you came in through a port of, you jumped let's say the Mexico border and you entered the US, you were not inspected and admitted, then you cannot adjust your status without leaving the US. You would normally need to, if your spouse files for you, because you came in without being inspected and admitted, you will normally need to leave the US and go back to your home country and then adjust, your consular process from your home country into the US. Okay. But with the VAWA process, even if you don't come in through proper means, you don't have to leave. You can adjust your status right here in the US through the abuse self-petitioning process. Okay. If you've been abused and the abuse was extremely cruel, it was extreme, the standard is, let me pick that up again, battery and extreme cruelty. If that's what you have been subjected to, then of course you can come in, you can adjust your status without having to leave. So the VAWA is a really good leave for people who are being abused and who need help and all of that. So please call the number there if you need assistance from my office, and we'll be happy to assist you. 802-7800-564. We do not offer free consults. It's only paid consults. This is as free as I can give, educating the public. So please call my office if only you need help with moving forward with us, and then we will be very happy to assist you with your process. I'm going to look at your case one-on-one and give you a super strategy to moving forward, the best strategy, how to proceed. All your legal options will be laid down, and then we can talk about how we can help you to live here in the US freely, to work here freely, and to enjoy life and live your American dream. All right, guys. Yeah, we're keeping it short and sweet. Ransford said, "Can I call you?" Of course you can. Our number is right there. 802-7800-564. You may call us at during work hours, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. EST, and we'll be happy to speak with you. All right, guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend and be safe. Bye.